Hi guys, Pastor P here. Hope you're having a good Sunday. I just want to reach out here to start with. Just know that we're continuing to keep the folks in LA and LA County, that surrounding area, in our prayers due to the fires and the great loss of the fires. And we encourage you to do the same, and also encourage you when you have opportunity to give to the need, to give as you're led to that. And I know it'll be greatly appreciated because the need is so great. Hope you're doing well today. Excited to see you and spend some time with you this evening. I know to pick up where we left off last week, talking about the power of words, the power of our spoken words. As you'll recall, we kind of hit on that in the book of Genesis, in the very first chapter, we find that in order to bring all of creation and the universe and the worlds into being, God spoke them, and how our own words are a creative force in our world to bring some things into existence. And I love the comments that were shared, that yes, it's the words even that we speak between our own ears that influence us and can create a world for us, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because our words have the power to give life or to tear down. They have the power to lift up and or to just devastate. With our words, we can just cut someone's, just tear people down with our words, and how powerful our words are when they're spoken outwardly and when they're spoken inwardly. This week I want to recall a story that's found in 2 Samuel chapter 6. And it's about how our actions follow up on some words that have been spoken. Okay, in 2 Samuel 6, we find the story where the Ark of the Covenant, King David is trying to get the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. He's excited. And we pick up on this story when it says in verse 1, 2 Samuel 6, verse 1, David again brought together out of Israel chosen men, 30,000 in all. He and all his men set out from Bela of Judah to bring up from there the ark of God, which is called by the name of the Lord Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim that are on the ark. They set the ark of God on a new cart and brought it from the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill. Uzzah and Ahio, sons of Abinadab, were guiding the new cart with the ark of the covenant on it. And Ahio, Ahio, was walking in front of it. And David and the whole house of Israel were celebrating with all their might before the Lord. With songs, harps, lyres, tambourines, sistrums, and cymbals, they were excited. Now, get this for just a second. The cart had been at Abinadab's house. Okay? They knew what they were supposed to do with that. Levites were supposed to carry the cart, but here it says we're supposed to carry the ark, but here it says they put it on a cart. Okay, so they're kind of compromising. Okay, let's just put it on a cart and roll it down this hill. Okay, this was the holy presence of the living God among the people. Oh, let's just put it on a cart, roll it down the hill. It'd be all right. Well, look what happened. It says, when they came to the threshing floor of Nacon, Uzzah reached out and took hold of the ark of God because the oxen stumbled. And the Lord's anger burned against Uzzah because of his irreverent act. Therefore, God struck him down, and he died there beside the ark of God. Now, a lot of times we could read passages like that, or similar passages to that, and we could be like, dang, God, whoo-wee, all he did was touch it. He was told not to. But all he did was touch it. Come on, God. He just touched it. And he died there beside it? What is that about? When we go back a few chapters, and we even go back into 1 Samuel 7, it tells us about when the cart arrived at Abinadab's. Okay? It stayed there for 20 years waiting to be moved. Waiting to be considered by the holiness in which it deserved. It was waiting there. Okay, and you can read all the backstory on that. But I want to call attention to something just waiting around for 20 years to happen. Think about yourself. Something just been sitting around the house for 20 years. Think about a treadmill sitting around the house for the last 20 years. weight bench sitting around the house, that new furniture you bought 20 years ago, that coffee table you bought that new dining room set, that car you bought, is it still around 20 years later? Or something else that you invested in 20 years ago? How about a relationship or a friendship? Something that's just kind of been around. Well, unfortunately, what happens too often is that when something's been around for a while, we begin to take it for granted. I picture over at Abinadab's house. Okay, here's the Ark of the Covenant, the holy presence of the living God. Now, when it first appeared, being chosen to house the holy presence of the living God, whoa, how exciting. Let some time pass. Okay, this distraction is getting in my way. I mean, come on now. I can't even sit on the sofa and see the TV because there's the Ark of the Covenant. I can't even go outside. Well, I got to walk around the Ark of the Covenant. I can't even come in and enjoy a meal or just, pop my head into the refrigerator and see what it is. There's the Ark of the Covenant sitting right there. I can't even just entertain friends. Where are they going to sit? There's the Ark of the Covenant. I know I'm making kind of light of it, but you see, it's been sitting around 20 years. You're becoming very familiar with it. It's that same way where you do laundry and you hang it on that treadmill or you hang it on that weight bench. Or when you put your feet up on the coffee table. 20 years ago when you bought it brand new, you wouldn't have done that. But over some time, things, you lose interest or you move on to other things. Come on, relationships that we invest in. We begin to take each other for granted, and there's a familiarity that happens when we just willy-nilly say anything we want to say. We willy-nilly talk about that job we've been at. We willy-nilly talk about our cars, our friendships, our relationships. We willy-nilly just toss stuff out there, not even considering the words that come out of our mouth or the actions that we take. Here's Uzzah. He knew better. They knew better. They knew this was sacred. They knew this was holy. They knew this was the awesome presence of the living God, which had been entrusted to them. And now they're asked to move it and let's go celebrate it, landing where it's supposed to land. And yet they've become so familiar with it, they compromise how they handle it. Now, as we continue to read down this story, it says that David, after Uzzah was struck dead, David was angry because the Lord's wrath had broken out against Uzzah. And to this day, that place is called Perez Uzzah, broken out against Uzzah. David was afraid of the Lord that day and said, how can the ark of the Lord ever come to me? I'm over here celebrating this awesome, exciting thing, but I can't even get it there because people don't treat it with the respect and the holiness and the sacredness which it is. He was not willing to take the ark of the Lord with him in the city of David. Instead, he took it aside to the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. The ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite for 3 months, and the Lord blessed him and his entire household. What's so big about that? Okay, he just took it from one place to another place. No. At Abinadab's, where it hung out for 20 years, respect was lost. It was beginning to be treated as a familiar item. But when he took it to Obed-Edom, Obed-Edom was a man of God, a worshiper. The very name, worshiper, one who praises. Okay? David was bringing it to Obed-Edom's house for 3 months, for 90 days. And in that time, the Ark of the Covenant, this man's house was blessed. If you do some word work on that, he is overwhelmingly blessed. Why? Because he praised even when he praised and worshiped and honored God before the ark was there. He watched his words. He watched his actions. He kept those things in check before the Ark of the Covenant was there. And so here he is. For 3 months, his house, his family, everyone is just blessed because the Ark of the Covenant, the presence of God, is there in their home. Know this, that the presence of God lives and dwells within you. Lives and dwells within you. And in this place where Obed-Edom continued to praise and worship, no matter what distraction came along, no matter what happened, he was still in a place of praise and worship, honoring God for who God is. recognizing God in everything that he said and did and when his going out and his coming in. That's huge. Friends, it's about not taking those things that God blessed you with and has blessed you with, not taking them and making them familiar. Get your words off of some stuff and watch and get God's word on it and watch things in your life be blessed. Okay? God's word is not exempt. It will go forth and do what it has been called and purposed to do. Isaiah 55. It's going to do it. But you got to trust it. You got to give it a chance. Get your words off and get God's word and presence in you and on you and through you. I just want to challenge you today. God's word sat at Obed's house for 90 days and Obed was blessed. I challenge you for the next 90 days. Get God's presence. Return the altar, the Ark of the Covenant within you, the sacredness, the holiness that created you. Restore it back to its right place and watch what happens in your life. Know today that you're loved without measure. I'm open. Let's talk about it. I love you. Have a great week. God bless.